Boys and girls, welcome to the program on visualization for improvement of sports performance. This is the third webinar in the series of webinars I am conducting this month. I have many more lined up for you. My previous webinars were on sports parenting and positive mental attitude. Boys and girls, 2020 was a disappointing year for the sports fraternity. Many events were postponed or cancelled. We were all afraid of the corona COVID-19 pandemic. Athletes were not allowed to go out and practice. They didn't have many tournaments to perform. And but now we have come to 2021, a new year has begun, and just yesterday we celebrated the Uttarayan, the Makar Sankranti. Yesterday, the commencement of a new year for us with the sun visiting Makar, and we celebrated as Makar Sankranti. I hope all of you celebrated the event with a lot of pomp and splendor. If yes, please type yes on the chat box. I hope you're all doing well. Please type yes on the chat box. You're all doing well, I hope. Okay. Now, this Makar Sankranti is celebrated all over India as Shishur Sankrat in Jammu and Kashmir, Uttarayan in Gujarat and Rajasthan, Makar Sankranti in Maharashtra, MP and Orissa, Makar Sankramana in Karnataka, Magi or Lohri in Haryana, Himachal Pradesh and Punjab, Pongal in Tamil Nadu, Pedda Panduya in Andhra Pradesh, Paush Sankranti in West Bengal, Kicheri in UP, Makar Sakrat in Bihar and Jharkhand. So this is a very, very auspicious year beginning for all of us. And I forgot to mention Megh or Bihu in Assami. So it's a wonderful beginning now. Let's all hope 2021 will be a wonderful year for all of us. So welcome to all of you once again. Now, before we dive into the webinar, I want to give you some instructions. The instructions are that kindly keep your audio and video in mute mode till the end of the webinar. Then if you have any questions, type it on the chat box and I will attend to the questions in the end. You will get some time to ask your questions and we'll do some clarification in the end. Then don't forget to give your reactions in the chat box. You can use the thumbs up, the clap, or the hand raise, anything. Don't forget to give your reactions from time to time. Okay. Now, during the last week, all of us saw, maybe, I don't know if you were lucky enough to see that, there was a video that was posted on the social media of Steve Smith, the Australian batsman, shadow practicing in his hotel room. Okay, that video was posted by his wife, and now you know how well Steve Smith has played in the last 2 test matches. What was Steve Smith doing? He was doing his shadow practice. He was imagining facing all the Indian bowlers, and not to mention Indian bowlers have been doing extremely well in this series so far. So Sachin Tendulkar, Rahul Dravid, Virat Kohli have all reported that they used to do this shadow practice. They used to do this imagination and visualization of how they would face the bowlers in the coming days whenever they played a test match or a one-day international or a T20. And I remember Sachin writing in his autobiography that when somebody interviewed him, he was said that he used to visualize how he used to face Brett Lee and the great Shane Warne all the time. Rahul Dravid did it, Sachin Virat Kohli does it, and and most successful people and great achievers in the world have done it. Visualization is, in fact, a secret of the highly successful people in the world. Now, hi, sir, Sangam sir, kindly mute your audio. I hear your voice are speaking. Please. Okay. Okay. Now, moving on to the next slide. On your screen, you are seeing Cristiano Ronaldo, one of the greats of football. He is well known all over the world, the soccer superstar. He plays for Portugal and Juventus, and he is the recipient of 5 Ballon d'Ors. The Ballon d'Or is given to the footballer who has scored the maximum number of goals in an academic year, and he has won it 5 times. Only Messi has won it more than him in an academic year. He's a fantastic football player. He is a proficient scorer, and he is described as a complete footballer. He is very competent playing with his head or playing with his foot. And he has been known, people say he is not as talented as Messi, Lionel Messi, but he is very hardworking player. So he has put in thousands and thousands of hours of hours practicing his football skills on the field. Now, see the amount of effort he has put on the field has made it very easy for him to perform. He also practices playing his football skills in his imagination. People close to him say that he is equally good with his imagination and his mental ability. He not only practices his physical skills, he also imagines, he also practices his mental skills for different purposes. Okay. Now, what a lot of experts, scientists, and researchers wanted to find out what led to his greatness. Then they did an experiment, and this experiment was done for the. It was done for it was a documentary series called Tested to the Limit. And what the researchers did was they put Ronaldo in a football field in the night, and it was under floodlights. Then he was put to a corner of the field where normally they take the penalty corners. Then the ball was kicked to him, and he had to score the goal. There were no other players, there was no goalkeeper, and imagine how easy it would be for Ronaldo to score. But to make it difficult for him, what they did was, as he started dribbling the ball towards the goalpost, they switched off the lights. Even then, he was able to score the goal into the net. Now, the researchers and scientists were puzzled. They were admiring at his ability. Now, what next? To go into the next experiment, they wanted to make it more tougher for Ronaldo. In the experiment number 2, what they did was that he was again asked to score a goal. Now again, he was positioned, the ball was in place. Now he had to score the goal, but even before the ball was kicked, the lights were switched off. Now Ronaldo was easily able to score that goal. Now, how does Ronaldo do it? He's very good with his imaginary skills. He uses his he senses the ball. He imagines where the ball has to go, and he does it. This is because of numerous hours of practice he has put on the football field. On both occasions, he used the power of his subconscious mind. Whenever you practice hard, all your skills are stored in the deeper subconscious mind, And when you tune your senses to your subconscious mind, it helps us to perform through our imagination. Now, then people close to him have said he has tremendous powers of imagination, and he practices both the physical skills as well as the mental skills. Now, I want to ask you, all of you, many of you are athletes playing different games. Now, yeah, I'm sure you want to improve your skills, perform better, and go on to become champions. You have a lot of dreams. You have a lot of expectations, the long-term goals, the big picture you want to achieve. I'm sure all of you must be having many dreams, but some of the progress of some of you may be slow. Now, I would like to share one of the secrets of achieving success, and that secret is visualization or imagery. When you learn the art of visualization and imagery, now you can make things happen for yourself. Now, you dream of winning titles, winning trophies, and performing for the country, and you have many such dreams. If that has to come to reality, visualization is one tool or technique that will help you for you to reach there. Okay. Now, great people say before, if you want to achieve something, you have to see it in your mind first before you go on to do it in real time. Just get back to in a moment. So let me welcome Kajol. Then as many participants have joined me, and you've taken all the trouble in to join this webinar on this Friday evening. Welcome Mahanta, welcome Majid Khan, welcome Nasreen, then Sanvi, and many others. Okay, so let's continue with the webinar. Now, I was just telling you, in order for you to fulfill your dreams, you need to use the tool or the technique called visualization. Now, Martin Licori, once again, 1 second. I'll just take a call. Hello, hello. Yeah. No, sorry, I can't speak to you. I'm doing a webinar. Call me at 10 o'clock. Sorry for the interruption. Now, you have to imagine winning those matches in your mind, in your head first, before you do it in real time. There was a runner, his name was Martin Licori. He said that if you want to be a champion, you will have to win every race in your mind 100 times before you win it in real life that last time. How true isn't it? You have to practice your skills. You have to imagine what you want to achieve. Then you want to foresee what you want to do on the sporting field in your head first. You need to recall that image again and again for it to come into reality. Now, coming to the aspect of what is visualization. Now on your screen, you are seeing Matthew Hayden, the iconic Australian batsman. You know how much he troubled the Indian team and how much he troubled the Indian bowlers. All of you can remember. Now he's deep in thought. It appears that he's visualizing something, maybe visualizing the next day's game. See, he's deep in thought. His eyes are fixed. It seems that he's imagining something. Now, what is visualization? Visualization is a concept of seeing in your mind's eye what you want to achieve in the future. Okay. Now, in visualization, you use the visual senses. Okay. This visualization is something that all of us have used at some time in our life. We want to achieve something, and we are already seeing in our visual senses that we are seeing that already happening much ahead of when it should happen. Okay, that event has to happen in the future. Now we are already seeing in the mindset that we are successful. Maybe we are lifting a cup or giving a speech or giving a presentation. We're already seeing in the mindset. Now there are some coaches here, and even great directors, film directors. Once the script is ready, they visualize seeing, how they visualize the set and how many actors they want in those places. What is the scene and how the scene has to be enacted already. Okay, now talking about visualize, I told you that great achievers and sports persons in the world have used the concept of visualization successfully in their time. Now, visualization is a creative concept used by scientists, architects, engineers, actors, singers, directors, painters, animators, whatnot. All great people have already visualized how their creation has to come about in the future. And there were many reports of Walt Disney who had visualized it already in his mind how he wanted the Walt Disney Studios to come about in, I think it was in Los Angeles or California. Then even Shah Jahan had visualized in his mind how he wanted to build Taj Mahal. So, great creators of man-made wonders of the world have admitted that they have used their imagery skills or the skills of imagination to bring out their creation. Even in the field of sports, there are great athletes, elite athletes who have come out and said that they frequently visualized or used the powers of imagination to see how they wanted to perform on the sporting field. This is how powerful visualization is. Now, visualization, we also use other terms like imagery or mental rehearsal. Mental rehearsal is another word for visualization. But what is imagery? In visualization, as I told you, we use the visual sense. We have the five senses, all the very well. The sight, the hearing, the touch, the smell, and the feeling. Okay, that tactile what we call. But in imagery, we not only make use of the visual senses, we also make use of the hearing, the smell, the touch, and the feeling. Okay, that is imagery. Imagery is more effective than visualization because it brings about a complete picture as well as it takes you to the real scenario. Supposing you are doing a visualization of a previous event, okay, you can also visualize and use other senses like hearing, touch, seeing, and feeling, or how it felt on your body. I'll come to that later. So visualization is a more imagery that involves visualization is more powerful than just visualization. Okay, now visualization can be used for different purposes in sports, ranging from seeing yourself performing well, seeing yourself winning the title and lifting the cup, seeing yourself change your behaviors, then seeing yourself performing calmly, then seeing yourself being very positive in your body language. It can, and you can use it to correct your errors. You can use visualization imagery, or whenever you are injured, you can see yourself recovering from injury and coming out and performing on the sports field. So imagery and visualization has got number of different benefits. It has got many uses that you can incorporate in your daily routine. Okay, now I am Vishwanath, your mental conditioning coach for sports. I'm also a counselor. I authored the book Success Mantra in Sports. This book is on the mental aspects of sports. And during my time, I was a club cricketer, and now I am a recreational golfer. Okay. I already told you I have started this webinar series I have recorded 55 podcasts, all on the mental aspects of sports. And during this pandemic, I recorded number of interviews, both audio interviews and video interviews in Zoom with number of athletes and elite coaches. Okay. Now, you can see on your picture that during the workshop called Winning Minds, I conducted in the year 2019. In fact, I conducted 3 workshops. And in that workshop, the person you see on your screen is Mon Brockman, and he is an Israeli coach and an athlete, and he's presently in India. He has represented Israel in many games. Now he is also training swimmers and fencers and athletes in India, and he was one of the guests of my workshop. And I had the privilege of presenting my book to him, my book, Success Mantra in Sports. I have helped many state, national, and international sports persons to improve their mind game. And you know very well that just practicing your physical skills without training your mind is futile. I covered those topics in the earlier webinars. I'll be doing it again in my upcoming webinars. Now, on your screen, you can also coming back to Cristiano Ronaldo. Now, on your picture, you see an image of Ronaldo standing in front of the goal post. There's a ball on the ground, on the turf, and now he's looking at the goal post. Now he's imagining, he's doing his visualization. Now he's imagining where he wants to hit the ball and how he wants to kick the ball, and at what rate he knows how to do it. So now first he's imagining. Now he's also imagining in his mind eye how he wants to kick the ball, and now he kicks the ball successfully and he's celebrating. Now this is a positive image you are giving to your mind. So in sports, what you think last is what is going to happen. So you always have to give your mind a positive thought and a positive image. That is what Ronaldo is trying to do on this picture. Okay, now moving on to the next slide. Now, as I told you earlier, many of you have dreamt of playing on the big stage. Now, many have said that they were always imagining, if it was a cricketer, he always wanted to play at MCG, the huge MCG stadium in Australia, or play at the Lord's cricket ground, which is called as the Mecca of cricket grounds. People were seeing themselves as a part of the Olympic team. Then they were seeing themselves give a memorable performance, winning the title, then being congratulated, people coming to them, shaking their hands. They could feel the warmth at their hands as the people shook their hands. They could hear the applause. So the champions have used this technique of visualization in a number of ways. And when you visualize beforehand, and it is going to come true. How is it going to come true? I'm going to tell you in a few moments from now. Okay, now in another slide, you are seeing a basketballer. He has the ball in his hands. Now he has to do a free throw into the net, and he has his eyes closed. He's doing some prayer, talking to himself maybe positively, and also he's imagining how he will shoot the ball. Now, I am very sure that he would have put it into the basket. Okay, now visualization or mental rehearsals, as it is sometimes called, has been, as I told you, used by many athletes all over the world. In fact, the champion athletes do that extra. Now, there is an extraordinary, okay? If you don't use other skills like the mental skills, and if you just go out there, work physically and come back like a monotonous thing, then you're not going to reach where you wanted to. So in order to become a champion, you need to become extraordinary. You have to add that extra to the ordinary to become extraordinary. That's what champions do. The champions use these skills to make themselves extraordinary. They put in that extra effort in order to become extraordinary. Okay, now, yes, now I already told you visualization is seeing in your mind's eye. There's a projector, there's a reel, as you see in the head, that the person is already seeing, it's recording, his mind is recording whatever he wants to see in the future. Now, that is visualization for you. You're already seeing in your mind's eye, you're already imagining, you're already visualizing, you're already seeing, as though it were true, that like a movie, that something will come true in the future. Now, yes. Going on to the next slide. Now, I spoke about imagery, wherein you use the other senses, like the along with the sight, you also use the hearing. You also get the feel of the sun or the air or the wind on your body. Then you can also smell, okay, on these surroundings. Now, a golfer who wants to practice a imaginary shot, okay, he's now seated in his chair, and he wants to see how he wants to perform tomorrow on the golf course. And normally in golf they do it on a round of 18 holes, okay. Then he is now imagining how in his imagery session, with his eyes closed, he's imagining how he wants to play the shot in a particular hole. Then he will include the feel of the sun on his body. He can feel the air blowing against his body, against his arms. Then he can smell the grass on which he's standing. He can feel the warmth of the sun. Then he can hear people talking around. Maybe he can hear his partner or his caddy speak. Then he sees the ball go fly and fall where he wanted to, ball to land. That is the visual sense. So like this, when you incorporate all the other senses, the picture becomes complete. You are presenting to your mind a complete picture of what you want in the future. Then how does it work? Why does it succeed? I'll come to that in a moment. Okay, now, why does it succeed? I'll come to that in another next 2 slides. Now, first of all, I want to talk about how many kinds of imagery are there. Imagery is one that we use the other sense, all the senses for imagery. Visualization is only for the visual sense. So make this clear. If you have any doubt, type your doubt in the chat box. I will clarify it for you. Now, there are 2 kinds of imagery. One is the internal imagery, another is the external imagery. In the internal imagery, you see yourself standing, then you can feel it from inside. You go inside and you can feel it from inside, okay? If you are holding a cricket bat or a table tennis racket, you can feel your fingers on the table tennis racket, handle of the table tennis racket, the feeling of the racket handle against your fingers. Then you can see from within what dress you are wearing, what is the shoe you are wearing, what brand is your shoe, what color is your socks, what color is your shorts, what color is your t-shirt. And you can also get the feeling of how you are feeling in the mind, and how normally, if you are practicing visualization before tomorrow's tournament, how you want to feel in the mind. Obviously, you want to feel confident, you want to feel motivated, and you want to see yourself performing well. So internal imagery is seeing from inside. Okay, you also see from inside how you are tossing the ball, how you are serving, and how the ball, after touching your racket, it goes across the net, and how the opponent receives it. And then maybe in the next shot, you are doing the top spin against the next ball. You can see that as though you are seeing a movie from inside. Okay, in the previous slide, you saw a person doing the internal imagery as a movie film is recording inside. Okay, this is called internal imagery. In the external imagery, you are coming out of yourself. You are seeing yourself on the field, okay, and you are seeing yourself perform. You can see yourself out there. You can see the dress you are wearing. You can see the shoe. You can see your socks, and you can see your racket in your hand. If you are a tennis player, you may see the Dunlop or a Donne or whichever racket the person is holding, or you can see the TT racket you're holding, one side red and another side black rubber, and you can see yourself performing, and you can see yourself being very confident in your body language. Then you can see yourself very calm. That is very important. In a tournament, handling emotions is very, very important. You can't look nervous. You can't look under fear. You can't look under panic when you're playing. Okay? You need to be calm, cool, and composed. Okay? Now, I will be doing the, I will come to in the upcoming webinars, I'll be covering the emotions in sports, in which I will be handling all these feelings and emotions ranging from fear, anxiety, worry, nervousness, panic, choking, what not. On that day, you will come to understand how to handle your emotions, how to look, how to show your positive body language, etc. Now, in external imagery, you are seeing yourself out there, and you're seeing yourself the way you want to see yourself. You want to see yourself confident, you want to see yourself perform well, you want to see yourself, all your shots are being success, you're winning the points, you're hitting the winners. All that you can see from outside, as though somebody is showing you a movie of yourself playing. Normally these days, the technology has improved so much that we do the video analysis. Okay, beforehand we do the video analysis. After your match, you can see when people shoot your match. That is a video analysis. Okay. Now in the external imagery, you are doing a video analysis before it has actually happened. Okay. In this video analysis, you are seeing yourself perform the way you want to perform. That is external imagery. I have a question from Mahanta. He's asking which of the two imageries are effective. And now the research says that there is not one common type of imagery that suits everybody. It is according to your choice. For some, the internal imagery works well. For others, the external imagery works well. Both are effective. It's up to you. How do you use the two different skills? Okay? Yeah. I hope it has answered your question. Okay. Coming to the next slide. Now, you see an upcoming player. I think from the look of it, it is a baseball player, I think. He's standing in front of the mirror and he's seeing himself becoming a big baseball player. Baseball is very big in USA. And he's already seeing himself like a big player, representing a big team. And he's already successful, famous, rich and famous. He's already imagining that in front of the mirror. And yes, this mirror exercise is very, very effective for visualization. And in future, anybody can come on my video sessions or come meet me in person or one-to-one sessions. I will teach you how to do those techniques. Okay. Now, the major premise, they say, of imagery is that the subconscious mind cannot distinguish between the real and the imagined. So what is imagined today can come real tomorrow. How does that happen? Now you may say, no, oh, saying that is so simple, but how does that happen? Okay, now to answer that question, I have to go to the next slide. Okay, now I hope you are seeing the video on your screen. If you are seeing the video, type yes or just type Y. Okay, just type Y or type yes. All right, you are seeing the video. Now, it is a fencing event. There are two fencers practicing their fencing. Okay. In any sport or in any activity a human being takes part in, when every day he is practicing this activity, and all this practice and whatever he learns is stored in the deeper recesses of the subconscious mind. In your head, there are billions of neurons. We come to know that there are about 85 to 100 billion neurons in the head, and the neurons are distributed inside your head as well as in your spinal cord. Now, when you learn something and practice something, all these are stored in the neuronal networks inside the brain. Okay. Now, when you every day you are practicing these skills and you want to go tomorrow and execute that, it automatically happens. Okay. You can't do that consciously with your thinking. It automatically happens. Okay. Now, to give an example for that, I will telling you about the give me the example of driving a car or doing the typing. Now, initially it was so difficult to learn how to drive a car and how to type uh, fast without looking at the letters. But now you are able to do both the things without any effort. In the sense, you are able to do it automatically. So anything you do, any skill you perform, you can't do with thinking. Okay, you can't think and perform. It has to happen automatically. Okay, if you allow things to happen automatically, they will happen beautifully. Okay, everything will be right. Okay, you will get the best performance also out of yourself. When you bring your conscious thinking in between, your performance will be spoiled. Okay, right. Now, when you learn a skill and practice it regularly, it is stored in the deeper recesses of the brain. Okay. Now ask you, how do movements happen? Supposing if this was an offline webinar or a seminar, maybe I would ask you directly, how does the movements happen? Okay. Now many athletes tell me that many of the participants in whenever I give a talk, they say that we have practiced the sport for a number of years and the movements happen by themselves. It happens by muscle memory. So there is nothing called muscle memory. Muscles can't store a thing. Okay. Whatever practice you have done, whatever you have learned, the muscles cannot store. Even if your hand has to move, your legs have to move, even if the little finger has to move, the signal have to come from the brain. Okay, it has to come from the brain. So now we are understand that all that we have learned is stored in the deeper areas of the brain. We call it as a subconscious brain, the brain that is submerged. Okay, now whenever you learn a skill, is already stored there. When you allow it to happen automatically, it will happen. Now, in real time, when you go there, when you see the ball, automatically your hands and body will respond. And when you see the ball, you know that which shot to play. Whether it's a cricket shot or a table tennis return or a tennis return, you know which shot to play. It happens in 1,000th of a second. Okay, there's so much of activity that goes on inside the brain. The movements happen automatically. It will happen. Okay, the signals come from the brain. It comes through the spinal cord to our musculoskeletal system. Then there is first the electrical activity. First, the chemical activity will happen in the muscles. Then first the electrical signals are received. A chemical activity happens in the muscles, and it produces an electric current. Just that moves the body, and your movements happen. Okay, such a complex thing happens so quickly in 1,000th of a second. So this is the normal thing that happens when you actually in real time when you go out there and play. Okay, when the moment you see the ball, all these things happen. You know how to respond. How does this happen? It is the beautiful work of the brain. Okay, it happens automatically. Now, in imagination, in visualization or imagery, whatever the name you call it, what happens there in imagination? Now, when you sit with your eyes closed, in the way we teach you how to do the visualization, and when you go into the right frame of mind, calm down your mind, and you see a future event, what happens is the areas of the brain that gets activated when you do the real thing, the same areas are activated when you do the imagery or the visualization. And the scientists have done experiments when they put the athletes in that imagery or visualization mode. They ask them to imagine their game as though they were already moving, as though they are already performing, and they connected their body to the monitors, and they could see that when they were imagining their skill, the same areas of the brain was getting activated, and the signals were coming on to the feet, to their body, and the body was also moving according to their imagination, according to the skill, according to what they wanted to execute. The body was also moving, but the only difference is that in real-time action, the impulses or the signals that comes from the brain are very powerful, so that your body actually moves. But in imagery or visualization, these impulses are weak a little bit, so small movements happen. So in imagery or visualization, you don't go and you don't make those rapid movements, but the same areas of the brain are activated. So that's why we say, uh, when you do a visualization or an imagery, it is as good as physical practice. Okay. Now, I want to add this to you all. Now, whenever you are traveling, every day in the night, supposing you are injured, supposing you could not practice, every day you should uh, silence your mind, get into that hypnotic state, get to calm down your mind, get into that visualization state, which we will teach you in future, how you have to get yourself into the calm state. And when you visualize performing your skill, the same areas of your brain get activated. That means even without going onto the field, you are continuing your practice. So this helps a lot. Okay. Then yes. Now you understand what is visualization, what is imagery, how the skills are learned, and how the different areas of the brain get activated when you want to perform the skill. Okay. Moving on to the next slide. As I told you, the same areas of the brain are activated whenever you do real-time action or when you do the imagery. Now, you are seeing an athlete in the picture. He's in the middle, while in that very violet color shirt, and he's imagining different sportive action that is happening. Okay. Now, I want to give you an example. This is a wonderful example. An army officer was an avid golfer. Okay, he was from USA. Then during the Vietnam War, he was captured by the opposite army, and he was made a prisoner of war. And he was locked up in a small cell. He was not allowed to go out. You know how the prisoners are treated. Now, lying in his cell every day, he used to visualize playing 18 holes. That means I can't explain golf to you because I'm also a golfer. 18 holes is playing at different 18 holes, and it takes normally 3.5 hours to 4 hours to play these 18 holes. Now, every day he used to visualize playing these 18 holes. Then after a number of years, when he was released from he became free, he was released as a prisoner of war. He went back to his country and he started playing golf. Now, to everybody's surprise, he had not forgotten the game even a little bit also. In fact, his game had become even better. And when people asked him how you were able to perform like the way you used to do before, his answer was that every day I used to visualize. Okay. Now the same areas of the brain was always kept active. I was practicing my brain every day by visualization. I was continuing my practice mentally, even though physically I was continuing this practice mentally. That is how I am able to keep in touch with the game and not forgotten the game even a little bit. And many champion athletes have said whenever they are maybe if they have to go to another continent for a game, it takes maybe 1 year or a day or 1.5 days. When they are traveling, they say they don't waste time. They close their eyes, silence their mind, and they visualize how they want to perform. This way, the subconscious is like a child. It doesn't know what is imagined and doesn't know what is real. Okay. Now, even though you are showing a picture to the subconscious mind of what you want to achieve in future. Okay, even though it is yet to happen, the subconscious will believe that to be true and make it happen for you. That is the secret of visualization. The subconscious doesn't know, it can't distinguish between the real and the imagined. So what you imagine, it will take it as literally and make it happen for you. That is the secret of visualization. Now, on your screen, you can see Tiger Woods. I don't know how many of you have heard his name, one of the legendary golfers. I think after Jack Nicklaus, he is the best. People say Tiger Woods is the best, even better than Jack Nicklaus. It's a debate like who is better, Sachin Tendulkar or Brian Lara, Messi or Ronaldo. So both are equally great. Now he is visualizing in his mind's eye. Now he is about to make a putt on the green, and he is visualizing how he wants the ball to go. Now he will just go and do the putt. The ball will go travel in the same way, the way he wanted it to. Okay. Now, what is the right time to perform imagery or visualization? The right time, I would say, is any time in the day is okay, provided that you have to sit calm and relax yourself mentally and physically. Go into that calm state, and then only you have to visualize. You can't visualize when your brain is active, when you're thinking too much. That's a wrong procedure. Okay, I will teach you how to do it when you come on my sessions. Okay, but the ideal time, I would say, is to just do the visualization before you go to sleep. On your picture, you see a basketballer who is sleeping and is holding the ball. I don't know whether he's actually sleeping or whether he's doing the imagery and visualization, but the ideal time would be there just before you go to sleep. Why is that time ideal? Is because right through the day your brain is active. You're always thinking about something. If you want to give a positive to your brain, your mind, it will reject and say you can't do it. You're not good enough. So, but just before you go to sleep, the moment you say, in any moment or two, I will fall asleep. That is the time when your conscious mind is tired and it goes into rest. Okay, when you are sleeping, your conscious mind will not be active. Okay, it will be active in a small percentage. It will go to rest. That is the time when your subconscious is open. Your subconscious is working 24/7 into number of years you live. From the moment of birth till the moment of death, your subconscious mind is always active. Just before you go to sleep, whatever picture you go to the sleep, give the subconscious mind. Whatever you tell your subconscious mind, it will take it literally and make it happen. That is why just before you go to sleep, even you perform imagery and when you ask what you want, those things will come real. So I will tell you in future how to, maybe in the last webinar I spoke about writing a journal or a diary and how they have to visualize what they have written in the diary that would come true in future. Just before going to sleep, when you visualize and do the imagery of how your goals have to come to reality, the subconscious mind will take it literally and make it happen for you. Okay. Now, you see in another screen, the person is so deeply involved in imagery that even on the bed, the person has sunk as a swimmer and gone very deep into the imagery session. That's a very maybe funny slide, I must say, but in reality, it is true. Okay. Again, you say you have to reduce your mental chatter. That means you have to calm down your mind. You have to reduce your thinking. You have to quieten your mind, and then only you have to perform the visualization or imagery. Okay. Now, what to visualize? I told you much earlier. What is that you need to visualize? You can visualize winning. You can visualize people applauding. You can visualize playing positively. You can visualize hitting winners. You can visualize or do the imagery of correcting your errors, learning new things. Okay, there are many table tennis players in the webinar today. I know how you. I think you agree with me how difficult it is to do the backhand topspin, what we normally call as backhand opening. If you agree with me, type yes. Type yes. Any table tennis players? Type yes. Do you agree that backhand topspin is effective but still difficult to master? I don't see yes. There is a reaction out there. Somebody agrees that Vishal Mandekar agrees that it is important. Now you can learn backhand topspin in your visualization and imagery also. Not only the physical thing. When you come back, your coach is teaching you the backhand topspin. The same night you can come back, and in the imagery you can perform the way your coach has taught you to perform. Now you are using putting double effort, one to the physical effort, and the same thing are stored mentally when you do in the imagery. And now that will come true. Okay, that's what the elite athletes do. They perform all the skills in the imagery session also, so that they become strengthened in the brain, and those things will come to reality. Now, I told you how, for what purposes you can visualize. For number of purposes you can do the visualization and imagery. Now, I will again bring you another example. Andreescu Bianca, a women's tennis player, was the winner of the 2019 US Open. She was 19 years then, and she defeated Serena Williams the Great. You know how great Serena Williams is? She is the winner of the highest number of Grand Slam titles in the world. And she defeated her on that occasion. Now, she told in an interview that I was dreaming of winning this title for the last 3 years. I really believed that I could be at this big stage. You know, Grand Slam, that too, finals is a big stage that any tennis player would love to be in. I have been visualizing it every single day, she says. And she said that she put herself in difficult situations, okay? Always used to visualize herself in difficult situations, in tough situations, playing against tough players, world great players, and what awkward situations she will get into. And what I think even in table tennis it happens, in a five-setter, maybe you will be 2 sets down, you lose another set, you lose the match, then you can see yourself coming back in your mind from 2 sets down, making it 2-all and winning the maybe you're winning the last set in a tiebreaker or in a decider, I must say. So these are the, you can see yourself performing well in tight situations. Normally in tight situations we panic, we become anxious, we can become under fear that we may lose or give away the point. You can see yourself performing well in tight situations. Now your coaches already do the simulation training for you. They say give away some 6 points to your junior player and go behind and get back those. Take the 6 point, make it 6-all, and from there on go on to win the title. That's a match strategy. That's a game strategy. The same kind of strategy you can do mentally. Like, you know, you can see yourself playing in those tough situations and coming out of those situations, equaling the scores, or in tough situations, how you will be stronger than the opponent player, how to overcome the opponent and come as a winner. All these situations you can see in your mind. That's what she said. No, she already practiced all those things in her mind. So when the real tough situations came, it was not difficult for her. She could do it very, very easily. So that is Andreescu Bianca for you. Okay, now I have to quote the legendary golfer Jack Nicklaus for you. And whenever the topic of visualization and imagery comes up, people always mention Jack Nicklaus, and I am also mentioning Jack Nicklaus for one more time. Okay, no article goes without the mention of Jack Nicklaus. Okay, he has won the highest number of Grand Slam in golf. He has won 18 Grand Slam. Tiger Woods has won 14. So he has been rated as the greatest player of all time. Okay. Now he always used to see in my video for this promo of this webinar, I've spoken about Jack Nicklaus. He always saw in his mind's eye how he wanted the ball to go, where he wanted it to land, what trajectory he wanted the ball to go, and what speed, and how he wanted the ball to land. Okay, now he always used to say, whatever we visualize in the mind first manifests into reality. This belief was always popularized by Jack Nicklaus. What he says, what you visualize in the mind manifests into reality. So all of you should believe that and make it happen for yourself. You should visualize, you should do the imagination, then it will come real for you. Okay, now Jack Nicklaus used to mentally rehearse every shot in the mind before actually swinging the club. Okay, now in his book, Jack Nicklaus writes, in his book, Golf My Way, he writes, I never hit a shot, even in practice, without having a very sharp focus picture of in my head. It was like a color movie coming into my head. Okay, first I see where I want to finish, nice and white, and sitting up high on the bright green grass. What is that nice and white? It is a nice white ball sitting on the green grass. Then the scene changes quickly, and I see the ball going there, its path, its trajectory, the shape of the ball, and the behavior of the ball on landing. On landing means how the ball will trickle down, how it will roll after landing. Then there is this sort of a fade out in my head, and in the next scene I see the making the swing myself in real time, and how the previous images had come real. Now every evening, that too before a tournament, when he retired to bed, I told you, what is the right time to practice imagery? It's when you retire into bed, just before you go to sleep. He would lie on the bed and replay his round, examining each shot, making edits, and finally watching his perfect shot, like a perfect movie. Yes, when he could do it, you too can do it. Now, let me give you another example to illustrate the importance of visualization. There was this diver, board diver in swimming. It's called as a diving competition. Now, this person is called Greg Louganis, and he's an Olympic springboard diver, and he has won 4 gold medals and 1 silver in the Olympics, and that happened in 1984 and 1988. Okay, he was always visualizing before the actual thing happened. The dive in his head, in the dive, the way he wanted it before he actually did it in the pool. He used to say, imagery helps me immensely to prepare and build confidence. I always imagine myself making a perfect dive before I hit the water, he says. When he could do it, you too can do it. Yes. Now one more. I told you about Jack Nicklaus, the famous golfer. Okay, no need to go into that again. I spoken about Andreescu Bianca. Now, athletes see themselves tackling tough situations. Okay, they see themselves coming out of tough situations. Okay. Yes. Now, okay. Now, imagery is an art. Okay, and for any art to be mastered, you need a guru. You simply can't visualize it and visualize what it want. It won't be effective. You have to get into that alpha mind. Okay, we call it the hypnotic state. You have to get into that alpha stage. How to get into that is a structured technique. You have to do it in a structured manner. Only people like me can teach you. Okay, so you have to learn. It's not only me. You can learn it from anybody, but you have to learn it properly. If you simply sit whenever your mind is very busy, when there's a lot of chatter is going on inside, you can't practice imagery and visualization. It won't be effective. So I'm always there to teach you imagery and visualization. You can be in touch with me, and we can also, for people who are out of Bangalore, we can do it online. Okay. Yes. Now has some. Okay. Now, people always visualize themselves playing in their favorite venue. I told you earlier, then playing, people have said, we always saw ourselves with the team, wearing that blazer, wearing that colors, then how we were with the team, how we were practicing, how we were in the flight, all of us traveling towards the Olympic, maybe if the next Olympics happening in Tokyo, you can see yourself with the team, sitting in your aircraft, all of you wearing blazers, and proceeding towards, flying towards Tokyo. All these things someday will come real. I told you, your subconscious mind will accept this picture and make it happen for you. Okay, and now, Majid Khan is asking me, I'm a little confused. Is imagery and visualization the same? I don't know if you missed it. Both are same. In visualization, you use only the visual senses of imagination, where you are seeing in the mind side what you want to see. In imagery, you are using the other senses like hearing, touch, smell, and feeling. I told you, how we can feel the racket, how you can feel the touch, how you can feel the sun or the wind, then how you can feel from inside, how you are feeling in the mind. You are using other senses in imagery. Imagery is more complete than visualization. It's more effective than visualization. Okay, now the important thing is, I don't know how many of you missed the last webinar. I told you how important it is to write your goals and your affirmations. And while you are writing your goal, you have to close your mind. Bring your mind to a calm state and visualize yourself achieving that goal. I have an example of an Olympic badminton player. He's also my relative. I conducted sessions for him, and he was telling me that till he went to the men's stage, he had always lost in the finals. And that year, we worked on these affirmations, and he started writing. This year, some date, month and date, the name of the player, I'm going to win the National Badminton Championship. He wrote every day 21 times. Every time he wrote, he wrote when he was in a calm state. He calmed himself down without any distractions. Then that is the time when he was writing. Every time he wrote, he closed his eyes and he visualized himself winning the national title, lifting the cup, and the people applauding. Okay, and the next day he said, he's in the headlines. He said, so and so won the national championship for that year. In fact, it happened for 2008, 2009, and 2010. And 3 years in succession, he won the men's badminton title. So this is the way you need to do. And I told you, every time you write an affirmation, my backhand opening is effective. My forehand is powerful. When you write that, you should also visualize seeing yourself performing that forehand, which is very powerful. Anything you want to master. A bowler wants to master the knuckle ball. So you can always tell yourself, I am very good with the knuckle ball. I can use it at the right time. You can visualize yourself performing the knuckle ball. Maybe in IPL it is very commonly used, the knuckle ball, where you hold the ball and the knuckles would be like this. The ball slows down after pitching. You can see yourself bowling that knuckle ball. Anything you visualize, anything you imagine will come into reality. Now, slowly we are reaching to the end of the webinar. And now, I have an offer to give you. And all of you who have appeared for this webinar, all of you know my, you don't know my email address. I think email address is on the screen, vishwanath.author@gmail.com. Vishwanath.author@gmail.com. There is no, in Vishwanath, there is no H there. VISWANATH.AUTHOR@gmail.com. You can send me a mail. I will send you an ebook of visualization for sports. It's a much bigger chapter. I've written, it's from my book Success Mantra in Sports. I've done a lot of research on this subject, and I will share that mini ebook for you. And it's written in much greater detail, and you can also learn to perform visualization yourself. But still, I would prefer you to have a session with me so that it will be more effective. So next, I'm always available online for your online consultations, and we can connect on Zoom or Facebook Live, and I can make you to do visualization. I can help you to become more confident. I can help you to do. There are many exercises in sports psychology which I can make you to do. Okay, you can deal with I know the biggest challenge, biggest enemy for you, all of you, is handling pressure and anxiety before a tournament. Okay, when your mind becomes over anxious, you are thinking too much, body becomes tense, and you cannot move freely, you can't hit the ball freely. All this happens because of pressure and anxiety. And in the future webinars, I'm going to handle emotions in sport, when I'll be talking about these things. But each athlete will have a different problem from the other. Not all athletes will have the same issues. If you have personal issues other than sport or something to do with sport, I am there to do for counseling for him, also a qualified counselor. And whatever the issues, it may be with your self-image, self-confidence, self-esteem, It can be with your motivation. You may be saying that I've been playing for 8 years, I'm not able to fulfill my dreams, fulfill my goals. That is, I'm losing my motivation. I'm there to help you. I'm there to help you deal with pressure and anxiety and many other things. And let me tell you in the end that however well built you are, however talented you are, however skilled you are, when you go into the arena, it is all the mind takes over. Okay? If you are cool, calm, positive, and optimistic in your mind, if you know how to handle your emotions well, then you are going to be the winner. Okay? At the highest level, you ask any great player, table tennis players can ask Sharat Kamal, or you can ask, what is that? There are many names, big names in table tennis. You can ask any one of them how it's going to be mentally as you go higher and higher. It is always handling pressure. When you know how to handle pressure and anxiety, definitely you will rise to the top. So in the upcoming webinars, I'll be holding this, conducting these webinars with these topics. But I will always say, never think that sport is completely physical, because no, it's not possible, because unless you train your mind, unless you are prepared for the different situations that you are going to face in the future at the tight competition situations, no way you are going to, because you have never been in those situations, and when you go into the situation, you sometimes panic. Yes, and some people mentioned the name of Satyan. Yes, such a great player. He used to play when my son was in the national circuit. Then we also have that boy from Gujarat. He is also in the Indian team. Kamlesh, I'm not getting his name. Okay, many players. We have our own girl from Bangalore doing well in table tennis circles. Yes. Now, never neglect your mind. It is the mind that is going to make you to fulfill your dreams. Okay, I'm not saying this because I'm a sports psychologist. You ask any champion and ask them what is the importance of mind, and they will tell you. All right. Now, I think we have come to the end of the webinar, and you have Archana. Somebody says Archana Kamath. Very true. That was the name I was trying to recall. Thank you for reminding me. And if you have any questions, it will be my pleasure to answer them for you. And give me your feedback on the webinar that you have just participated until now. Now, somebody is asking me, how should I reach the alpha state of mind? Now, this is not the appropriate time, because you are busy listening to me. I am completely in the beta state now. I must be in about 35 cycles per second at the present moment, because I am like you all. I want to give a good presentation. I'm very busy. I'm trying to keep my mind busy, recalling so many information. I'm in the beta state. The ideal thing would be for both of us to be in a relaxed state. So anybody wanting to learn how to get into the alpha state can always connect with me one-on-one or one-on-one on the online platform, Zoom platform. So any questions you have, I'll be glad to answer them for you. We already almost spent an hour and 15 minutes. Oh, time flies actually. Thank you for your participation. Any questions? Vishal says the session was very helpful. Thank you. How long should we visuals? Okay. Majid says, excellent, sir. Thank you, Majid. Then how long should we do? Yeah. Yes, in about 15 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes, you can complete the whole process of visualization and imagery. Initially, you need to tense your body, then you have to relax, then do a lot of deep breathing, focusing on your breath. It's something called meditation. Then only you can get into that visualized state. You have to do counting backwards. There's a lot of procedure there. It's a structured way you need to do that. And in fact, I'm proud to say that I will not say I'm proud, but I'm confident, and I say that I use visualization imagery for other purposes also. Whenever people come to me for general counseling, I use this technique well. I do the visualization, nothing but self-hypnosis. I help to put the person into that hypnotic state and make them visualize what they want to see, and then I put suggestions into them, saying that you are a winner, you are a confident person, you are always hopeful, and then there's so many things that anything. If a person says I'm not good at something, I change that into positive, put them in a relaxed state, and I put those suggestions into that person, and I ask them to train themselves every day in a similar manner. Anything is a habit. Visualization imagery is also a habit. When you practice it on an everyday basis, whatever you want to imagine, whatever you want to make it to come true in your life will definitely come true. And research says that statistics have proved that people have come out and shared that imagination is a great tool. Okay, it's one, as I told you earlier, it is one of the secrets of highly successful people in the world. I hope there are no questions. Thank you so much, and kindly leave your email IDs. Call me, and you can also WhatsApp me your email ID on the same number. I will send you that mini ebook to you, all of you. Thank you for being a part of this webinar. Thank you very much. With this, we come to the end of the webinar and hope to see you in the upcoming webinars. Please keep a watch over. I'll message you when the next webinars will be held. Kindly don't miss the upcoming webinars, because I am right now I'm doing it free for you. Then it is coming as a bonus to all of you people. So kindly utilize that, and whoever is in need of mental training, kindly share my number with them. And again I reiterate, again I repeat, just physical effort is not enough. You have to train yourself mentally. You have to reach the top of the ladder. You want to fulfill all your goals and dreams. Thank you. Good night. Thank you very much.